My ZZ Top. All right, let's go. Ready? All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about, I think the only car so far that's been up to par with the Ferrari, the 612. This is probably the most incredible build we've ever done than the Ferrari, but it's a completely different car than the Ferrari. It's the first time in our history that we actually bought a brand new car to start with. We went to the dealership and bought a brand new S63, the new body style. Beautiful car, absolutely beautiful car. It was a green on saddle car, and the idea was to buy it and just chop it up like we normally do with our cars and turn it into something else. But this car was so nice, we had it for about 3 weeks before we chopped it up. We put 4,000 miles on the car. 4,000 miles, that's how much we liked it. The new S63 is a spectacular car. It's got 800 horsepower, 1,000 torque stock.
Shoot. Dude, that's insane for an S-Class. Jesus.
S-Class, it's just completely ridiculous is what it is. The best way to put it. We got the one with the rear seat executive package. So the passenger side in the back has a recliner. It's got all the right options. It's just an incredible car. Shout out to our boys at Keys Van Nuys for the hookup. We got a good deal on the car. And so the project, after we did the Red Pig, we really liked the outcome of the Red Pig. It became a very famous car, and it's an iconic car. And how do you outdo that car? Well, you outdo it the way they did it back in the 70s. Is you get the next model up, which is the 600, 1971 Mercedes 600. They made a short wheelbase version, which is what we got, and it was basically the car that people like the heads of state drove or were driven in back in the day. It's like the Maybach of the 70s. Fast forward, we bought this 71 600. We had it for a few weeks, and my brother and I were debating on which chassis to use. We were going to use a Maybach, but the Maybach is a little too long, and it's a 12-cylinder, which isn't very tunable. He wanted to use an older S63, like a 2018, and that didn't work out because it's just an older car. So, I just kept pushing the idea of using a new S-Class 63. They all thought I was crazy, but so one day my mother pulls up. She's got an S500, new body style. We park it next to the 70s car, and the wheelbase is identical. Mercedes-Benz did a hell of a job. The S-Class has always been their flagship, and they really didn't disappoint this time. It's a beautiful, beautiful car. So beautiful that my dad was like, you guys can't cut this car. There's just no way. It's too nice. It's too new. Don't freaking cut it. So, of course, we cut it. Once you cut the car, there's no going back. What we did is we took the entire S63 interior and we put it in this 71 600, and everything's going to actually work. And, those of you that build cars know how incredibly challenging that is to do. So shout out to Perry, shout out to Mo, shout out to Vova. You three are just animals. Then we have the man behind the camera who brought in his 3D wizardry and made the headlights for the car. And we were able to use the low beams from the S63 and incorporate them into the 600. And he made a very cool design. It took some time to do it, but perfection takes time, and it looks really, really good. So you guys will see that. Shout out to Dapper Lights. They help us out with the rings around the lights. Also a halo intake, which is cool. So thank you to Dapper. Thank you also to anti-gravity batteries. They came on board this year again for the second time in the second year in a row. Anti-gravity batteries. They are the only battery on the market that's lithium and comes with a remote control. Why the hell does it have a remote control? Well, if your battery dies, you push the remote control and the battery jumps itself. And finally, thank you to Audison, who's been our sponsor now for our third year in a row. The most incredible sound systems money can buy, hands down. They're the only companies left that's still not made in China. They're actually out of Italy. Amazing group of guys there in Italy. It was, they've actually came to the shop. They've seen the operation, and I really appreciate all of their help. So on the S-Class, we decided to run a factory called the 4D surround system. This car didn't come with it, but the 4D sounds really, really good from the factory. So we wanted to make sure it was better than factory, and the Voce 2s really delivered. So this is the 600 when we first got it. Tried to take it apart and got it on the lift and slowly started taking her apart. And as you can see, it's coming apart. Car was a complete rust bucket. Sat in Texas for 10 years. Nice thing is we did a chassis swap, so we don't have to replace the floors or anything. We have brand new floors from an S63. The body was, need a lot of work. We sandblasted it. It had a lot of holes, so we had to fix a lot of metal, and we threw away a lot of the stuff in the car that we didn't need. There was so much hydraulics and window actuators. They had hydraulics for the rear seats to move around, and all that stuff was weight. We took it all out. We changed the windows to electric, and the rear seats on the S-Class recline anyways, so we didn't have a problem there. And this is us just kind of taking the body off the frame finally and preparing to make it something special. The nice thing about these chassis is they're still very desirable, so we were able to sell it to a good customer in Germany, and I'm not sure what he's going to do with it, but the motor alone is worth at least 10 grand. It's a very popular motor. A lot of people still run them, and a lot of people are crazy about them. So if you do buy a 600 and decide to do a chassis swap, you'll get at least half your money back from the motor alone. So this is us just kind of repairing the body, starting the bodywork process. I think we spent about 2 months on the bodywork on this car. Shout out to our bodywork guys. Did a great job for the time that they had. Yeah, this is us taking it to the sandblaster to get it sandblasted. So the car goes on a trailer just like that, just the body, and then it came back with a whole lot of holes in it. So first coat of primer. There's the S63 getting chopped up slowly but surely. There goes the roof, the panel roof. If anyone needs a panel roof for an S63, let us know. If anyone needs any body panels for an S63, let us know. We've got them. And this is the first time the body and the chassis meet. First time that this is their first date. So we had to extend the rear window a little bit because the rear shocks of the S63 are very high in the back. So we had to extend the rear window just about 2 inches.
And here you can see the process of creating of our timepiece headlight assembly. We 3D scanned the housing of the 600 on the frame of the C63 already. Later, we disassembled the housing of the headlight from 2024. We extracted low and high beam modules in together with all controllers and electronics, and spent around 3 months creating topology optimized, AI-driven, 3D printed housing, so we can retrofit those modules to work plug-in with original S63 electrical system.
About a month before SEMA, so as you can see, we're not nearly close to being done yet. But luckily, our guys are amazing, and they went to work. This is our first time putting the 63 front bumper on the 600 and starting to mold it together. Our guy Perry is amazing at what he does, and he surely did it. The rear end of the car, he did, I think, in like a week, which is hard to believe, but he's a magician, we call him, and he definitely worked his magic. Here's Mo putting a carbon fiber roof on the car, and Mo is Magician Junior. He's
Perry's son, and he's amazing at what he does. The car would never got done without Mo, so shout out to Mo. He worked about 20-hour days, 7 days a week for the last month of before SEMA. And then here's our first primer job. I don't know why we used pink primer, but I guess you can see it better. And then the one controversial thing we added is the spoiler. Some people love it, some people hate it. We don't really care. And this is the first year we painted carbon. I know it's not a new thing, but it's the first time for us to put a coat of paint on the carbon. And I think it came out really, really nice. So good job, Mo. Got a green tinted carbon roof, mirrors, yeah, the spoiler, and every other part that's carbon is tinted green, except for the interior. Here is the car going to paint. This is literally like a week before SEMA. So as you can see, the car is complete disarray a week before SEMA. So the fact that this thing got painted and put back together and drove to SEMA is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Shout out to our painter next door. And here's John all worried about the car. Hoping it comes out right, but I think the color choice was good. Very good choice. And this is the car rolling back to the shop from the spray paint booth next door. And then it's assembly time. It's go time. So we have 6 days to put this car together. 6 days this car's supposed to be on the floor at Toyota Tires Tread Pass. And it was a lot of work. But, you know, no one really went home except for a shower and come back. So thanks to our crew for doing all of that. Here's our lenses that are S-Class lenses, S-Class low beams on a 600 headlight, all 3D printed. The third halo in the middle are the intakes. Those are cut open for intake, and those are from Dapper Lighting. And then here's the car, first time going out in the sun. This is what, a couple days before SEMA. First time driving it, first time seeing it in the sun, and everyone was very, very happy. Nice thing about this car is the tail light. So we use the S63 tail light, and above it we used an LED brake light from a 675 LT for the brake lights. So it's a very custom setup in the back. It looks really good. It matches really well, and everything functions as it should. And here we're just kind of putting the final touches on the car. Everything on the interior is working. Everything that was unplugged was plugged back in. So, this looks easy on the video, but this is extremely difficult to do. So again, we have the best crew, and without them, this wouldn't be possible. We have the ideas, but the ideas have to come to life, and these guys are the ones that make it come to life. And there's the car at SEMA 2 days later, doing the inaugural SEMA cruise. So, shout out to everyone. Congratulations to you guys for, finishing this car. And this is what it's all about. This whole SEMA cruise at the end is worth all the pain, all the blood, sweat, and tears. And that's why we do it. So next year we'll be back at SEMA, bigger, better, stronger. We already know what we're going to do, or at least 2 of the cars we know we're going to do. And who knows what else will come to mind in between now and then. So again, congrats to everyone. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and enjoy the rest of the cruise.